How to get into investment banking, A-level edition. So for context, I'm the principal of Edgbaston College. I started at college 5-6 years ago, and before this I used to work as an investment banking analyst at UBS, which is a big old investment bank. Now, to help us understand which university you should go to have the best chances of getting into investment banking, we'll be using a tier list, and we'll be using the S tier all the way down to the B tier. All of our S tier universities are target universities. Our A tier is our semi-targets, and our B tier is our non-targets, but sometimes you find students from those universities do end up getting into investment banking analyst positions. To begin with, in the S tier, as expected, Oxford and Cambridge. Oxford and Cambridge are the most competitive universities in the UK to get into. They're the most prestigious as well, and naturally investment banks also want to recruit from these universities. From a personal point of view, I feel like if you're at Oxford or Cambridge, you do have the best chance, because some employers, some very niche finance employers like hedge funds and private equity firms, tend to want to focus Oxford and Cambridge almost exclusively. They'll be in Cambridge's Raven employment platform, but they won't find their way onto the internet, or they won't find their way onto Warwick or UCL or Imperial's careers login. Now, outside of Oxford and Cambridge, at a very, very close to that, is LSE. LSE is in the city. It's still incredibly hard to get into. You have lots of economics and finance focused courses, and investment banks love to recruit from there. And I've seen lots of people from LSE at investment banks. But not very far behind Oxford, Cambridge and LSE are Warwick, UCL and Imperial. And all three of these are also target universities, and if you go to any single one of these, you've got an incredibly good chance, subject to the rest of your application being strong. All six of these are what we would call target universities, and investment banks love to recruit from there. So you'll often find investment banks doing university fairs here. You'll often find them doing other networking events like dinners, where the bank's employees come and visit prospective applicants who are at those target universities studying at the moment. So it's really, really important to, if you can, try and get to one of these target universities, because it leaves you in a very strong position when it comes to your applications. Now, outside of these target universities, you have semi-targets as well. Semi-targets are universities where investment banks will sometimes go. They'll sometimes hold networking events. They'll sometimes hold university fairs. And typical universities that fall into this list would be places like Nottingham, Durham, Bristol, and possibly KCL as well. Now, outside of the semi-targets are non-targets, and there are still some Russell Group universities where you find students sometimes getting into investment banking roles, but it typically tends to be harder. So to provide some context, when I was at UBS, where there were students who were on the UBS grad program and graduated from a UK university, there was a 90% chance that they were from a target university, and typically the other 10% made up semi-targets. I can't remember many students at all being from non-targets. But as A-level students, my advice to you is try and get into those target universities, and you'll give yourself the easiest task when it comes to applying to investment banks afterwards. Thank you for listening this long, and if you guys did like this video, please do follow this account. So I forgot to add, if you did enjoy that video, there's more information on this in a blog post on Edgbaston College's website, and I'll also be making more videos on how to get into investment banking as an A-level or an IB student. And I'll be covering other topics as well, on things like how to get into medicine or dentistry, and higher degree apprenticeships as well.